Good evening and welcome to a stream of college football on Sorgy Stories, but this is not just any Saturday. It is week 7, what has been called the best slate of the year. And this is the game that everyone has been waiting for all day. Game day was in town this morning, and now it is prime time football, except on the West Coast. Ohio State, Oregon, from Autzen Stadium in beautiful Eugene. Should be a fun game. I am Anthony Sorgi here with you. As you can see, number 2 versus number 3. And yeah, so kickoff will be in a few moments. But first, as we get ready for kickoff, we see Joey Harrington on the NBC broadcast for anyone watching. Joey, of course, the former Oregon quarterback, banging the Big Ten Saturday night drum, which has been become a tradition over the last few years. As we quickly here flip over to our scoreboard for the games today, if I can go grab these here, we see what has happened so far today in college football, starting in Tuscaloosa. What a game that was in the noon slot. South Carolina losing to Alabama in a thriller of a game. That score, of course, being 27-25, the Tide getting the win. In Dallas, of course, it's the Red River Showdown at the Cotton Bowl Stadium. Texas wins 34-3. Number 1 stays on top, staying undefeated. In Southern California, Penn State. What a game this just was. For anyone that watched on CBS, it was an incredible matchup between the Nittany Lions and the Trojans. Number 4 going to unranked USC and winning in overtime on a field goal, 33-30 the final there. And getting underway in just about 3 minutes or so will be Ole Miss LSU, number 9 at number 13 in Baton Rouge at Tiger Stadium. That will be a fun one to watch as well. So as we flip up back here to our thing right here, as you can see it there, we've got Ohio State and Oregon. That is what we will be talking about right now. CJ saying, just the duck emoji. Yeah, I'm picking the Ducks tonight. I mean, I'll go ahead and say it. I was going to say it right about as the game started. But picking Oregon. That's one of my upset picks for tonight. My other upset picks are West Virginia over Iowa State. I said USC over Penn State. That happened. What else did I predict? I said Colorado's going to beat Kansas State tonight. Is there anything else that happened that I was right or I was wrong on? Yeah, CJ, I just can't say it. I don't like the university itself. I don't have like a huge problem with. I mean, I kind of do. My bigger problem is with the fans. I just don't like their arrogance. Not all Ohio State fans, but a decent amount of them. So, yeah. Hopefully Oregon wins this game. Of course, Ohio State will be wearing their white uniforms. I think they're special uniforms for this game. I'm not actually sure. And Oregon wearing the all-black unis. As by the fourth quarter, it will be dark in Eugene. But, folks, keep the comments coming. Enter the discussion. Give your thoughts on this game, the Ole Miss LSU game, which is a big one, what happened in Southern California earlier today, and just kind of generally everything happening around the sport of college football. Elsewhere in sports, I guess I'll go ahead and mention what else is going on. And I'll run through some other college football scores. Currently, it would seem like if we update this here, Notre Dame up 49-7 on Stanford. That one has 7:08 left in the fourth quarter. BYU absolutely, I mean, this was supposed to be a close game in Provo. It is absolutely not one, as BYU beating Arizona by 15 points. BYU up 34-19 with under 2 minutes to go. Georgia was down early to Mississippi State. That is not the case anymore. They lead 34-24 with the ball deep in Mississippi State territory. 3:42 to go there. And just kicking off about half an hour ago on ESPN, Florida, Tennessee. Of course, the Vols coming off a terrible loss to Arkansas. That was a tough one to watch if you're a Vols fan. But elsewhere in college football earlier today, Clemson 49, Wake Forest 14. We had Pitt surviving Cal 17-15. And then outside of the ranked games, I did see that we had some interesting final scores as well. If I can grab those up here. Iowa 40, Washington 16. Iowa, yes, they actually put up 40 points. CJ's Georgia Tech squad winning 41-34 earlier this afternoon. Army 44, UAB 10. The Army's still undefeated, folks. They are rocking and rolling. In overtime, Illinois beat Purdue 50-49. How about that one? Louisville survives Virginia on the road in Charlottesville 24-20. Cincinnati pulls off the upset of UCF 19-13. And then looking at last night's scores, Northwestern 37, Maryland 10, UNLV. They're looking good this year, maybe a chance at the playoff. They beat Utah State 50-34. And Arizona State pulls off the upset of Utah 27-19 in Tempe. Upcoming this evening, of course, we're doing the Ohio State-Oregon game. I mentioned the Ole Miss-LSU game. I have that on a second screen. Oregon State-Nevada is tonight. Vandy, Kentucky is tonight. Syracuse, NC State. Minnesota, UCLA. And then the late game, as I mentioned, Kansas State heading to Colorado. And here we see Dan Lanning and his Oregon Ducks taking the field at a sold-out Autzen Stadium. And we will see them emerge from the smoke momentarily. Of course, the Nike slogan, "Just do it." When they come out, everyone touches that. It would look like, just like, go play like a champion today, stuff like that. Big Blue, we support you. That's their slogan is, of course, Phil Knight's "Just do it." And we see the Oregon Duck coming out on the motorcycle, followed by Dan Lanning. And here come the Ducks. 5-0 on the year. They beat Boise State. That's probably their most impressive win, either Boise State or Oregon State. And other than that, if I can pull up who they've actually played, other than those two teams, they have beaten thus far UCLA 34-13, Michigan State 31-10. And the game that kind of scared a lot of people early was their opener, 24-14 win over Idaho. That concerned a decent amount of people, but they've looked good since then. We'll see their first true test of the season tonight. Meanwhile, for Ohio State, they beat Akron 52-6. Ohio State beat Western Michigan 56-0. Then beat Marshall 49-14. That's close for a bit. Then beat Michigan State 38-7. And last week, they took down Iowa 35-7 at Ohio Stadium. So, yeah, we will take a quick break, and on the other side, we will have the kickoff of this game. So, yeah, we will be back in just a second. We are back here as Ohio State and Oregon get ready for kickoff in Eugene. We have, it looks like 74 degrees and sunny. Perfect fall football weather for a nice NBC primetime game. Although, it's 4:30 p.m. on the West Coast. So not really prime time there. But for all of us East Coasters, it is. And how about this? NBC pulling out all the people. Paul Burmeister as a sideline reporter today. It's interesting. Usually he is doing play-by-play, of course, an Olympic play-by-play guy. And he does some Notre Dame play-by-play as well. And as we see, a mostly green and yellow crowd, but some red sprinkled throughout. Ohio State's always going to travel. Everyone who knows college football knows that fact, and we see the head coaches now. Ryan Day still has not proved much in his time at Ohio State. Other than that, he's a good head coach, but he hasn't won much. He's won some Big Ten titles. That's not the expectation at Ohio State. The expectation there is bring home the trophy in late January. And for Oregon, Dan Lanning, he was there for Georgia's national championship teams as the defensive coordinator. Now he looks to bring Oregon a national championship for themselves in his second year as head coach. The Ducks will kick off. And we are underway here in Eugene. We will start off with a touchback, and Ohio State will take the field in just a moment. Will Howard, of course, the senior quarterback. Henderson, a running back. Jeremiah Smith, a great receiver. Ibuka, a great receiver as well. Tate, their third receiver. Scott, the tight end. And, of course, a really solid offensive line because it's Ohio State. As we see Seth McLaughlin there, the center, a transfer from Alabama. So 1st and 10 for the transfer from Kansas State as we quickly look at CJ. Hey, if he even doesn't win, yes. Tech, big win over UNC. Here we go. From the 25, Howard is going to throw, and it will be complete. Looks like they got it to the tight end there. Or no, they didn't. Yeah, they did. Scott Jr. there with the reception for about, it would look like, let's see, maybe 5-6 yards. So decent play. Tipped by the defender and then right into the arms of Scott Jr., who brought it down. Good tackle, though, by Oregon to prevent him from any further yardage. So 2nd and 4 here for the Buckeyes. They're going to go a little bit of a fake run. They'll get the first down on a pass as a great throw by Will Howard there. We see so far this season 1,248 yards, a 12-3 touchdown interception ratio, 4 rushing touchdowns, and a completion percentage of 71.5%. He's having a pretty solid year this year. Again, he hasn't played anyone though. So 1st and 10 now for Ohio State. Howard looks for a first down, and that is way over the head of his receiver. No chance of that one getting caught by Tate. So it will be 2nd and 10 now for OSU. We see the 17 points per game allowed through week 6 Oregon defense. Pretty solid defense, I would say. Not it says 9th in the Big Ten, but also no one has really played anyone in the Big Ten, so does it really make a difference? I don't think so. Howard is going to get him. They're just going to run it to Henderson, and Henderson has a bit of an opening. He will get about 4 yards on the run. So that sets up a 3rd and 6 here for Ohio State in their own territory. They've completed about half of their 3rd downs thus far this season. I would expect a throw here from Howard. If I were to guess, that seems like the likely option here. That's what he's going to do. He's going to look for a man. He has a man. Will he get the first down? No. And it will be 4th and 1 for the Buckeyes just short of the 50-yard line. Not a bad route and not a bad tackle either. A pretty solid tackle there by the defender. Sets up a 4th and 1 for OSU. They're going to go for it, which is probably what I was going to expect them to do here. If the math says go for it, you go for it. And I'm guessing the math says do it here. They have converted 70% of their 4th downs thus far. Howard is just going to push it, and he will get a lot more than the first down. That has to be at least a 4-yard gain. First down, Buckeyes at about midfield. It's just a beautiful blocking job, and Howard gets all the way from the 44 to the 47, so 3-yard gain. First and 10, Ohio State. Howard throws deep, has a man, and it is called a catch, but looks to be an interception. Let's see the replay here. It's caught. Yup, that is a... I don't think he held on. I don't know if he held on. Let's see here. The ball never touched the ground. And yeah, that's going to be a catch. They're going to run to Henderson for about a gain of 3 yards. As we see a Go Bucks comment. Nah, go Oregon tonight. I'm not an Oregon fan, but I don't like Ohio State very much. So we're rooting for the Ducks here. But yeah, that's a catch. I think he caught that. Ball never hit the ground.
No, that might be an interception.
I don't know. Maybe.
I think that's an interception.
He might have lost that. It's tough to tell.
That was an interception, and Ohio State got lucky that they snapped the ball early.
I don't think they could have overturned it either way. So they kept the call on the field. And that's going to be a pass all the way inside the 5 down to the 1 for OSU. So first and goal for the Buckeyes, 10:28 and running the clock is here in the first quarter. I would expect probably a run here if I were to guess. And on the reception there was Quishon Judkins from Pike Road, Mississippi. Pike Road High School, and then the University of Mississippi. And that is going to be Will Howard, running it into the end zone. Ohio State leads 6-0 on Howard's run with 10 minutes to go. 10 plays, 75 yards for the OSU scoring drive. And we see the fake and a just beautiful execution of the play. A great block by the tight end, a great block by Judkins. Lets Howard right into the end zone. And now the PAT will be attempted. It is up, and it is good. A little bit of a late snap. But Ohio State leads 7-0 here early. So we will take a quick break, and on the other side, we will be back. It's the Buckeye 7, the Ducks 0 right here on Sorgy Stories. And we are back here as Oregon takes the field. Dylan Gabriel, the QB for the Ducks. James, Johnson, Holden, Stewart, and Ferguson are the weapons for Oregon in the all-black unis. Dylan Gabriel, of course, the transfer from Oklahoma and maybe UCF too. I feel like he went to both. So here we go. 10 minutes to go here in the first. They're going to start it off with a run that will get, wow, what a recovery. 6-yard run there for the Ducks. So it will be 2nd and 4 after James there juked out a couple guys to get his 6 yards, or excuse me, 5 yards. Going to go play action. Screen pass will get just short of the first down. They're going to go tush push just like Ohio State tried to do, and they will get the first down as well here. So 9:05 after Gabriel's run. And they didn't actually go tush push. They didn't bring that many guys there to help, but just 5 blockers was able to work. So now they're going to look to pass it. Gabriel throws. It is tipped and incomplete. Great defense there by the Buckeyes. Will make it 2nd and 10. Downs there with a great deflection. So 2nd and 10 here. 8:42 to go in the battle of 5-0 Big Ten teams, number 2 and number 3. Oregon's going to hand the ball off for about a yard's gain. As Hancock there with a stop. So 3rd down as we see the Ohio State defense allowing 6.8 points per game, playing absolutely no one. Oregon's going to throw. They will get a completion that will make it about 4th and 3. We'll see what the Ducks do here, and it looks like they will punt with 8:08 to go. Let's see. Yes, the punt team out for the Ducks here on 4th and 3. Ohio State with a returner deep. 7:42 to go here in the first. And that one is sent way to the left and out of bounds, but inside the 20 at the 15-yard line, which will take us to another quick break. We will be right back here on Sorgy Stories. we are back here for some action in the first quarter. Seeing this Ohio State offense, some stats talking about Chris Carter and Jeremiah Smith. Smith and Ryan Williams of Alabama, two incredible 17-year-old receivers. Of course, Ryan Williams, the more popular one because, well, he's at Alabama. And Alabama, of course, like biggest brand in all of college football. All of college sports, really. So, yeah, meanwhile, in Baton Rouge, it is 0-0 between Ole Miss and LSU. 12:48 left in the first there. It's going to be a run there for Ohio State. They will get the first down, it looks like. So, I don't know if that was Judkins there. It might have been. 7:12 and a clock running. Here in the first quarter. That was Mika Ibuka. As Howard almost tripped up. He's going to pass it to absolutely nowhere. Okay, 6:49, 2nd and 10. It's going to be a handoff for a loss of a couple yards. Judkins there was fighting for it. Does Oregon have the ball? Yes, they do. Wow. A turnover there. Who was that? Was that 55? It looks like that was number 55 for the Ducks. I'm trying to figure out who that is.
I don't know if that's a fumble. It looked like he was down when it was a 50-50 ball. Although, no, that's a fumble.
Yeah.
Direct strip.
So there we go. How about that? The rest will talk over it, but as it stands right now, Oregon has the ball after Derek Harmon out of Loyola High School in Detroit, Michigan, the transfer from Michigan State. And yes, it will stand. So Oregon will take over here in the first quarter. Folks, everyone watching, make sure you drop a comment. Give your thoughts on this game because it has been quite entertaining so far. Oregon now will have the ball in Buckeye territory after Judkins got that one stripped from him. So 6:39 to go in the first here in Eugene. As meanwhile, in Oxford, a huge pass there from Jackson Dart to start off the game for Ole Miss. And now we actually will go into an official review. So they're going to take a little bit longer. Harmon on the sideline waiting. Judkins on his sideline waiting. As we will see, let's take a quick look about half an hour into the 7:30 kicks now, what the scoreboard looks like. 3-0 Florida leads Tennessee. 0-0 in the Ole Miss LSU game. That is all we have for the ranked games, at least. And while we're on a break, let's go to my dad, who's sitting a few feet to my right. You're more than welcome to answer this, but commenters, please drop your answer in the comments. We're bringing back what we did last year, the trivia for the game. First quarter trivia question for you all. When was the last time Oregon hosted College Game Day? Drop your question or drop your answers in the comment section.
I will guess 2012.
Okay, my dad has put in his guess, but for all of you, so I try to go into the live stream and put the question in the chat. There we go. So drop your responses in the comment section, and we will give it until probably the end of the drive, is what I'll say. Until the end of this drive. So put your responses in. I obviously have the answer if I'm asking the question there, dog. But yeah, and if you can give me the guest picker, who Corso picked, and the score to that game, or just who won. Bonus points, I guess, for you. You don't win anything monetarily, or materially, but you get bragging rights in the Sorgy Stories chat. So, again, when was the last time Oregon hosted college game day? We'll give the answer in just a few minutes, probably between plays, actually. This drive might last a while, so we'll see. Meanwhile, in Oxford, it's 3rd and 4 for Ole Miss at about midfield. They're going to run. They're going to get a first down and a lot more. Still early in that one. This is a long break, as now we're finally going to come back. As we see Quinshawn Judkins, that's his first fumble since he was with Ole Miss in 2022. And Harmon there, let's see what he does. So 52 is able to get past that early, and then Harmon, number 55, gets right in there, forces the fumble. Oregon ball, 1st and 10 here at Ohio State's 28. They're going to run it to start the drive. They're going to have a first down and a lot more inside the 10 to the 2-yard line. How about that run from the Ducks? 6:24 to go. They handed it off there to Jordan James, the junior out of Oakland High School in Nashville, Tennessee. And he took it from the 28 to the 2, now setting up Oregon to be in a great situation for a touchdown. They're just going to run it right back to James, and he will be in the end zone. Touchdown, Ducks. Jordan James with a 3-yard rushing touchdown makes it a 7-6 game here in the first quarter. 2 plays, 28 yards, 48 seconds. Quickest scoring drive of the day. I said it was going to be at the end of the drive or a couple plays. Well, let's go ahead and give it the answer. Dad, you were wrong. You were a decade off fully, actually. It was 2022, week 8, when the Ducks played UCLA. The guest picker was Sabrina Ionescu. Lee Corso picked Oregon, and Oregon won 45-30 over the Bruins. Kick is up. They're going to fake it. Oregon's going to fake it. They're going to throw it up, and it will be intercepted.
Oh, they can run this back.
Ohio State's going to take it. And he is tackled. But what are you thinking if you're Oregon?
That was a bad snap. That wasn't a fake.
I guess, yeah. Wow. So it seems like that was Lathan Ransom, out of Sal Point Catholic in Tucson, the senior for the Buckeyes on the return. Great pressure and a good pick, and he took it all the way from about 5 yards in his own end zone, way down to the 35-yard line, inside the 35-yard line of the Ducks. Let's see what happened. A terrible.
Bad hold.
Yeah, bad hold. The holder there on that one was, let's see who that is very quickly here.
Dunn.
That was Luke Dunn out of Australia. out of Victoria there, the redshirt freshman punter, had the hold.
Aussies are not used to throwing footballs forward.
Yeah, but I mean, he had it. He just kind of threw it pretty wildly. Didn't really seem like he had an aim target to it, and I guess maybe he was trying to throw it in and get the points that way.
Yeah, just trying to. I mean, just get lucky, knowing that the odds were ridiculously against Ohio State running it back for a 2-point play themselves, but they almost did.
Yeah, so 5:51 to go, and now Oregon down a point to Ohio State. The kick is away, and it will land in the end zone. So the Buckeyes, after turning the ball over and giving up 6 points, will have the ball now at their own 25-yard line. 4 of you in here. Keep the comments coming. Continue our discussion here as, well, we're having a pretty fun game so far between Ohio State, number 2 in the country, and Oregon, number 3 in the country. 5:51 to go here in the first quarter. So Ohio State will start off their drive here. Middle of the field, just above the Big Ten logo. It's just so weird to see it at Oregon. It's going to be a screen pass for about a loss of 3.5 yards, I would say. So it'll be either 2nd and 13 or 2nd and 14. As some great defensive play there by the Ducks D. And one attempted tackle didn't work. The second one did work. On the reception there, it looked to be Egbuka again out of Steilacoom, Washington. Steilacoom High School there. So not too far away. Of course, I mean, you don't get that many West Coast games for if you're a Big Ten team. Let's find out where that is exactly in Washington. Steilacoom, Washington. It is about a 3-hour, 40-minute drive to Eugene. But still, that's as close as Ohio State's going to play to his hometown, as it is 2nd and 17 now for the Buckeyes. 4:57 clock running to go. At their own 18-yard line, Will Howard is just going to run it himself. He will get a gain of about 5 yards. And Happy Hodag in the chat, what is up? Saying, I want to say that's near Seattle. Looking on the map, it is right between Olympia and Tacoma on the water. Actually, there's a ferry from there to Anderson Island in the Nisqually Reach, I want to say it's called, as well as the Carr Inlet, kind of in that general area. So now 3rd and 11 for OSU. Howard is going to look, and there's a flag. We'll see who this is on. The refs will quickly convene. Full start on the offensive. Ole Miss just got a pick, by the way, inside LSU territory, so they're set up to score here. How about that? Cody Hankins saying, what up? Cody, I talked about it before the game. Your Alabama Crimson Tide surviving South Carolina. What a game that was at Bryant-Denny. I'm guessing you had to take heart medication during that one because of how tense those fourth quarter moments were late in that game. We'll talk about that a little bit more here in a bit. 3rd and 16. Howard's going to throw to the screen pass. Check down man there. It is going to be 4th and a lot after that play. And Autzen Stadium is loud. So 4th and 12 for the Buckeyes. Cody, at this point, I would say either Yankees. I mean, at this point, I just want Yankees Mets. Just give me the Subway Series, the World Series. That's all I like. I'm not gonna watch that much. But I'll watch Guardians Yankees. I'll watch it all, but like I'm not very invested in it. I wanted Detroit to win it all, but it's not gonna happen probably. So here we go. 4th and 12. The punt is away. And we'll go out of bounds. But a flag. We'll see what this flag's on. It's on Ohio State. Delay of game on Ohio State. So that's going to push them back 5 yards further. So I actually need to send the link. I forgot. For the second half of today's stream, we will be joined by Lincoln from American Football Network. So I need to shoot him an email with that link, as Ohio State will punt it deep in their own territory. That one will go to about the 41-yard line. So Oregon now 59 yards or so away. From the end zone. Okay. Did LSU just get the ball back? What happened here in this other game that we have on? So Ole Miss has it. Oh, LSU got the ball back? Wow. How about that? So nothing there. The Brewers and Phillies will both be back next year. The Brewers are a young team. They'll have Yelich back, and you'll have Woodruff back. Willie Adames will probably be gone, but I think that they'll be able to figure something out at third base. Sal Frelick might play third, so Joey Ortiz can move to shortstop. We'll figure that out. But who knows? Willie might stay. I'm not sure. Phillies will be fine. Not too worried about them. The Braves can stay healthy, but I still don't know how much I trust them. And I still just don't know how much I trust them, just honestly. I don't know. It's very, very simply. But let's take a look again around the scores, as we do have some new scores. The 8 o'clock kickoffs have just started. So Iowa State in Morgantown at West Virginia. That's 0-0. Akron and Western Michigan currently in a delay. I'm guessing a rain delay. Air Force losing to New Mexico 21-16 in the second quarter. Washington State up 13-7 on Fresno State in the second. Ole Miss and LSU tied at 0 in the first. Oregon State, Nevada even at 7 with 14:02 to go in the second. Vandy and Kentucky, that should be an interesting one. 7:45 to go here in the first. That's 0-0. Syracuse and NC State tied 0-0 with 11:58 to go in the first. And that's about all that's going on right now. Of course, tonight the only late games tonight, there's no Mountain West late game tonight. Technically there is, but Boise State, Hawaii, but no 10:30 kick. It's just the 11 o'clock kick on CBS-SN. At 9 o'clock, we will have Minnesota, UCLA, 10:15 p.m., Kansas State, Colorado. Yeah, Hodeg, I'm picking West Virginia to win it. I think they're going to win this game against Iowa State. I'm also picking Colorado to beat Kansas State. Some more Big 12 chaos, as if we already don't have enough. Cody Yankin saying, I wonder what team will get Pete Alonso. Fired a bet, the Mets, but he could go to the Yankees, he could go to the Giants. I don't know. We'll find out. Maybe another team kind of surprises someone and does something. Now, Oregon, though, they have the ball in their own territory. It's going to be a pass from Gabriel to who was that on the reception? Let's see here. That would have been Ferguson, the senior tight end out of Heritage High School in Littleton, Colorado. Gabriel throws deep, has his man. Oregon ball in OSU territory. Stewart on the reception. Evan Stewart, the transfer from A&M. He's a junior out of Liberty High School in Memphis, Tennessee. A beautiful reception there. Now, under pressure, Gabriel's going to throw it to Holden, the transfer from Alabama. And there's a flag on the play. Seems like it's going to be on Oregon. And it will be. What the call is, I'm not sure. I don't recognize the signal he gave. Did you know what that was?
Illegal shift.
Illegal shift, okay.
Yeah, the graphic popped up and showed it.
I did not catch that. So it will be 1st and 15 now for the Ducks, so still first down. And LSU with a big 30-yard or so reception there in their game. As we keep tabs on that one. So Oregon has the ball at Ohio State's, 38-yard line, and they'll run it for about 6 or 7 yards. Let's see, that was number 20. James there again, getting into the running game. Jordan James, been a beast so far. Last week, he had 24 rushing yards for 168 yards and a touchdown. Pretty impressive performance last week. We'll see if he continues his performance tonight. Here now at the 26-yard line of Ohio State, Gabriel throws incomplete. His target there was number 7, Evan Stewart, who ran not that bad of a route there. Ooh, that could be a penalty. That should be a penalty there, if I'm going to be honest. I would have thrown a holding flag on Ohio State's Davidson Igbenson. Igbenison? I think that's it. Igbenison. Out of Union, New Jersey, and the University of Mississippi, Ole Miss. A lot of guys who've transferred from Ole Miss to Ohio State. You're seeing a deep ball, incomplete, so it will be 4th and 8. And I would expect here to see the field goal unit for Oregon. Gabriel was under pressure. No late hit call. I would agree with that. So Atticus Sappington, he's 24 for 28 in his career. It's going to be a 44-yard attempt with 47 seconds left in the first. It is up, and it is no good. So still a 7-6 game. Here. And that one just was barely to the right, just to the right. So it will be 7-6, the score. As we head to a quick break, or actually we won't. I think we're going to keep on air. I usually just take a break when NBC takes a break. So it doesn't seem like they're going to, so we will stay on here and continue coverage of this game. Will Howard and the OSU offense ready to go here. They're at their own 26-yard line, it would seem like. That's going to be a run. Henderson all the way to the 45-yard line. What a run by the OSU star back. Dude's a beast. Travion Henderson, the senior back out of Hopewell High School in Virginia. And they're going to go ground and pound again to Henderson. He's going to take it to the 40, the 30, the 20, inside the 10, and just short of the end zone. Travion Henderson runs it all the way from deep, not deep, but about midfield. deep into the territory of Oregon. Tackled just short of about the 1 yard line, I'd say. I don't know. Is that a touchdown? I think, they called him out just short. So he's at about the 2 yard line. Sets OSU up to get a lead, but it is going to be a man down here with 10 seconds. The Buckeyes, let's see exactly what's going on here. The O-lineman will rise to his feet, but in pain. The injured man there was who? Let's see. It was, I still got to scroll up a little bit more. It was Tegra Shabola. The injured man there, as we will head to the end of the first quarter, and now we will take a break here on Sorgy Stories. Back for quarter two in just a moment. We will see you on the other side of the break. We are back here on Sorgy Stories for some second quarter action in Eugene, Oregon. The score, Ohio State 7, Oregon 6. But Ohio State does not begin here. Turn that 7 into a 13. Henderson and Judkins, the duo for Ohio State. One of the best backfields in the nation, if not the best backfield in the nation. Both with over 3,000 career rushing yards. And now first and goal for the Buckeyes. Minutes to go in the second quarter. And ready. There we go. So we see Chip Kelly, the new offensive coordinator. He was the head coach at UCLA, for those who know, but not anymore. now at OSU as the OC under Ryan Day. First and goal at the 4 for Ohio State. Howard will get the ball. They're going to run it. He's going to run it himself. Just short of the end zone. He gets to about the 2-yard line. So here we go at the 1-yard line. Ohio State just going to hand it off to Judkins, who will get in. So now the Buckeyes with the lead. The score now 13-6. As you can see there, and now it will be 14-6 here momentarily. As I just change this graphic on over. And there you can see now our score of 14-6. So we're seeing some highlights from the Buckeye drive. For 14-22 here left in the second quarter. Meanwhile, in Oxford, Mississippi, it is Ole Miss up 3-0 on LSU in the second. And the kick is away for Ohio State. And it would look like be a touchback here. So we're seeing the yards per play through a quarter. Ohio State averaging over exactly 2 yards per play more than Oregon. But Oregon can change that with a solid drive led by the quarterback, Dylan Gabriel. Here we go. Starting at their own 25-yard line. Gabriel, guessing this is going to be a pass, and he's going to throw it for about a loss of a yard. On the reception there was number 15, Tez Johnson, the transfer from Troy out of Pinson Valley High School in Pinson, Alabama. So 2nd and 12 now at their own 23. Dylan Gabriel's going to throw deep. Does he have a man? Yes, he does. A beautiful throw, and he's still going. Evan Stewart makes it 1st and goal. Holy crap, that was insane. And Stewart fought for every yard with the DB. So now at their own 8-yard line, they're just going to run it, but there would seem to be a flag. We'll see what's going on. So first and goal here, there's going to be an official review, it looks like. I'm not sure of what. I'm guessing the last play, I would assume. But we'll find out here. 13-10 to go here in the second quarter. What are they looking for? When he was out, did he lose possession? What are we looking for? I guess if he stepped out. In. Yeah, I think their placement was correct. And I think it will be at the 8-yard line. But wow, that was an insane play there by Evan Certain. The mighty Duck of Oregon is very excited right now, as he should be, rightfully here. As the Ducks have it at the 8-yard line. We'll see if they get past or run here. They're going to run the ball for a loss of about 2 or 3 yards. The stop there by number 44, JT Tuimalo from Edgewood, Washington, out of Eastside Catholic High School. So second and goal from the 10. Gabriel throws. End zone. Is he in? Yes, he is. And Evan Stewart again with a touchdown, but a flag on the play. I think this will stand, but we will find out here in a moment. And also, I liked, and that's going to be on the defense, declined, touchdown Oregon. So the score now will be 14-12. If I can update that. He got his foot down. So 14-12 here. It will be 14-13 pending the PAT. And another botched. Oh, no, they went for the 2 this time. So they went for 2 this time, obviously for a reason, and they did not get it. So 14-12 will be the score. Now that they're down 8, or excuse me, down 2. Now that you're down 2, if Ohio State puts up another touchdown, I would just guess that you would just kick the PAT, right? Like, you're not going to just keep going for 2 and become just more and more points behind. That doesn't seem like the move, but maybe it is. Let's take a look around college football, starting with our top 4 games of the day. So we take a look at the scoreboard for today. These are your top 4 scores of the day so far. Earlier this afternoon, Alabama beat South Carolina 27-25 in what was an incredible game against South Carolina for the Tide. Texas wins the Red River game 34-3 over Oklahoma. The number 1 ranked Longhorns stay at number 1. How about Penn State beating USC 33-30 in overtime at the Coliseum? And a big-time classy move post-game by James Franklin as his players went to plant a "We Are" flag at midfield. He told them, don't do that. We don't troll here at Penn State. Very classy move by Coach Franklin. Penn State, I'm assuming, will move up to number 3, passing the loser of this game. And in Oxford, not in Oxford, in Baton Rouge, it is 3-0 Ole Miss over the Tigers of LSU in the battle of one-loss teams. Essentially a college football playoff elimination game. Both teams needing to win out. Ole Miss essentially needing a miracle. I think I'm pretty sure they play someone tough left on their schedule. I'm forgetting who. LSU, I'm assuming, isn't going to make it. But for Ole Miss, it was just a fun team to watch, honestly. They're enjoyable to watch. They play Georgia. Yeah, so, I mean, they can win the Georgia game. I'm not doubting that. I think that's very possible they win it. It'll either be a 3:30 p.m. start or a 7:30 start, depending on what's going on elsewhere on November 9th. Let's try to predict if that's going to be a game that will be as I just go here to put in our current score graphic. There we go. Let's see. That week, Alabama, LSU is also that week. Oklahoma, Missouri's that week. Michigan, Indiana's that week. Florida State, Notre Dame doesn't really matter. So yeah, I'm assuming Georgia, Ole Miss would be the primetime game, unless they want to put Alabama, LSU over, which doesn't make much sense to me. But did Oregon just onside kick it? And did they recover? See what happens. A huge pile. I just look up. I was like, oh, let's see a kickoff. And nope. They onside kick it. And Oregon has the ball. Dan Lanning with a gutsy play call. And beautiful execution by Oregon State's kickoff team. And the kicker himself, it looks like, got on that one. Who was that there? Number 98, their kicker. What's that guy's name? I saw it earlier, and I'm not remembering it now. Let's see. It was Andrew Boyle. Yes, the kicker out of, again, another guy from Washington. Oregon gets a lot of guys from Washington. So 1st and 10 Ducks after a flawlessly executed kick there means Ducks ball at midfield. 12:26 to go here in the second quarter. Dylan Gabriel will hopefully lead the Ducks 41 yards down the field into the end zone and get them a lead. And now, if you were to put up 7, it would be 19-14. If you were to put up 8, it would be 20-14. I don't really think it makes a huge difference. That I don't know what you think. If you get a touchdown and just kick the PAT, it becomes a 19-14 game. If you go for 2, it's 20-14.
Yeah, don't go for 2 right now.
Yeah. But first, they got to get to the end zone.
Yeah. That
should be their big reward. So let's see if they can do that right here. First and 10, Ducks at the 41. Gabriel is going to look to throw. He throws deep, has a man. Is that Stewart again? No, it's not. It's a different guy this time. Who is that on the reception? It's number 1. It's Trayshawn Holden out of Kissimmee, Florida, the transfer from Alabama. Holden there with a beautiful reception. Puts the Ducks in a great spot to score a touchdown. So here at the 9-yard line. So 2nd and goal after not much of a gain there. A flag on the play. 11:31 to go here in the second quarter. The ref's talking over it. Let's find out who it's on. It will be on the Ducks. So that will set them back a bit. Unsportsmanlike conduct on Holden. Wow. I don't know exactly what he did. Let's see. He got in the face of his defender there. Trash talking a little bit after the play. And I guess Davison Igbenason out of Union, New Jersey, the junior corner, transfer from Ole Miss there. Was on the receiving end. Did Ole Miss just take that to the end zone? Yes, they did. 10-0. The Rebels lead in Baton Rouge now. How about that? Ulysses Bentley the 4th. Back here in Eugene, it's going to be a run to the outside. So they were sent all the way back to the 25, now at the 20. So 3rd and 20, even though technically it's 3rd and goal. And he was ejected. Holden ejected from the game. And he is throwing an absolute tantrum on his way back. Oregon's going to pass it. They're going to get inside the 10-yard line now. So 4th and goal, I'm assuming they're just going to go for the field goal because that's the logical thing to do. But maybe they won't. We'll find out. Let's see. 4th and goal. Down 2 with 10:36 to go in the second. And yeah, they're going to kick it. So, Atticus Sappington. He missed from 44. Let's see what he can do from 27. It's a clean snap, clean hold. It is up, and it is right down the middle. Oregon leads Ohio State by the score of 15-14 with 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. We will be back right after the break as we will continue this matchup between the Ducks and the Buckeyes right here on Sorgy Stories. Back here for some second quarter action, as Oregon will get the stop. $9:50 to go here until the half. Henderson's going to run it for absolutely no gain. Just solid run. Howard here will pass it across the middle for a first down and a few more yards than that on the reception there. Was number 88, Guy Scott Jr. out of Seattle, Washington. Again, another Washington guy in this game. How many guys from the state of Washington are there on these two teams? Seems like a lot. And a man down for the Buckeyes. That looks like it's going to be number 71, Josh Simmons, the senior lineman out of San Diego. Transfer from San Diego State. He went down pretty hard there. And then got tripped over him as well. So they're looking at his leg. It would seem like with 8:49 to go here in the second quarter. And they're going to be helping him off the field, it looks like. Hopefully everything will turn out all right with him. So they're going to go ahead and get the card out here. So it seems like a bit of a tough injury here. So he's hobbling. He can put pressure on one leg, but not the other. And Zen Michalski out of Floyd's Knob, Indiana, will come into the game. And you can tell there for Simmons just kind of a look of sadness and depression. Doesn't seem like a good injury considering it didn't seem like he could put much weight on that leg. Seemed to be his left leg there. All right, but his left. So as Ohio State gets ready to go, I'm going to go ahead and throw the next trivia question out for you all to answer. 1st and 10 Buckeyes here. And they're going to give it to Henderson there for about a gain of 3 yards or so. Our second trivia question of the night. Which father and son were the first to both have captained the Buckeyes? Give everyone a few minutes to answer. Dad, do you have a guess?
Oof. No idea.
I will say that you all will know one of the two names. The other one you will have probably no idea about. But you should know one of them. It's going to be a run for about a first down for Judkins there. 7:44 to go here. Third down, actually, so it's going to be 3rd and inches. So I'll give everyone a few minutes again. The question asks, which father and son were the first to both have captained the Buckeyes? It's pretty it's a pretty fun question. I don't think many people will know the answer, unless you're an Ohio State fan, then you'll probably know. 3rd and 1 for the Buckeyes. Guessing they're going to run it here. They're going to hand it off, and it's going to be a stop. A great stop there by number 10, Uyunglele, from John Bosco High School, Mateo there. I'm guessing he's related to DJ Uyunglele. We'll find out. Excuse me, Uigalele? I want to say that's it. Uigalele. I think that's right. Uiagalelei. So we're going to say that's it. Uigalele. As, let's see, on 4th down there, did they get it? Yes, they did. Judkins there on the run. Dad, do you have a guess?
No.
Okay, we don't have it. I'll give everyone about 2 plays or more to throw out a guess. So here we go. 1st and 10 at the 48 of Oregon here. And it looks like a timeout or a flag or something here. We'll see what it is. Looks like we will be taking a break. 5:52 to go in the second. We will be right back here on Orgy Stories. are back here. Ohio State with the ball. 5:39 to go. Happy Hodag in the chat saying the only Ohio State alum I know is AJ Hawk, but I know that's not the right answer. The correct answer was a guy who actually is on a TV show with AJ Hawk every week on the Pat McAfee show. It's a regular guest and an ESPN college football analyst. Jim and Kirk Herbstreit, the duo. First father-son duo to both be captains of Ohio State's football team. How about that, Dad? Would you have guessed that one? Jim and Kirk Herbstreit?
None. No guess. No possible.
So there's that as we go and update here. How it would seem that with 3:20 to go in the second, Ole Miss leads LSU 10-7 now after a touchdown. Ohio State with the ball. Howard's going to throw. Judkins is going to be inside the 20 all the way down to the 14-yard line, setting OSU up in prime position for a score. Howard throws end zone. He wanted Smith, could not get him. So 2nd and 10 now for Ohio State. So Howard now at the 15-yard line is going to go play action. Has a man in the end zone. Touchdown, Ohio State. Egbuka there gets into the end zone. Emeka Egbuka. It is 20-15 Buckeyes here in the second quarter. PAT is up, and it is good. 21-15. The Buckeyes lead Oregon. Let's go ahead and take a look around college football. As I mentioned, it is Ole Miss 10, LSU 7 in Baton Rouge. But there are other games happening around the sport as well. Iowa State and West Virginia tied at 7 in Morgantown. An upset alert there as Iowa State is ranked number 11 in the country. Florida up 3-0 on number 8 Tennessee in the third quarter. That is an upset alert. Those are our only current active top 25 games. Outside of the top 25, a lot of other action going on, though. New Mexico beating Air Force 35-17 now. So it looks like a service academy will lose this week after Army won 44-7 over UAB earlier this afternoon. At the half, it is Washington State 13, Fresno State 7. Oregon State leads Nevada 17-14 at the half. It's 7-7 Vanderbilt and Kentucky in the second quarter. Syracuse leads NC State 3-0 in the second, and just getting underway in the Rose Bowl, Minnesota, UCLA. Of course, Minnesota coming off the big win against USC last week. I think it was USC, right? Isn't that who they beat?
Remind me, sorry?
Minnesota beat USC last week, right?
Yes.
All right. There were a lot of upsets last week, in case any of you were living under a rock. But yeah, so good slate of primetime games here. Oregon with the ball. 3:53 to go. They're going to hand it off to the back. He's going to get a first down and a lot more. Not a lot more, but a few more yards. James there with a 12 or 13-yard run. Clock running under 3 minutes and 45 seconds to go in the second quarter. It's going to be a run for the first. Oh, they didn't even get the first down, but now they do. After that run of about 5 yards from James. Clock running. We're going to near 3 minutes here. We might go under it by the time this play is over, and I think we will go under it here. So about a minute away from the 2-minute warning. It's going to be play action. No, it won't. It's actually going to be the run. And James there is going ground and pound on this drive. And it's worked so far. James gets a 6-yard run. That will take us to under 3 minutes. It's going to be a run up the middle for a first down. Again, by James. Just ground and pound. For the second half, I will be joined by Lincoln from American Football Network. I don't think there might be a little bit of halftime commentary, but I have to eat my dinner, so that's probably what I'm going to be doing for most of halftime. As we hit the 2-minute warning.
Want me to cover it, kid?
If you want to.
Sure.
I don't care. By the way, elsewhere in sports, Team USA playing Panama on men's soccer for any of my soccer fans out there. If anyone would have any interest in that. NHL, million games going on. When do the Flyers play? Are the Flyers playing right now, or did they already play? What happened? What's going on with the Philadelphia Flyers? They play tonight at 10 in Calgary. Couple NBA, like 3 NBA preseason games going on. But if we're being honest, who really cares about the NBA preseason? Let's take a look, though. Again, if you're just joining us at our scoreboard of today's games. So I go ahead and flip this on over. Bama beat South Carolina 27-25. Texas beat Oklahoma 34-3. Penn State in overtime with a 33-30 win over USC. And it is 10-7 LSU losing to Ole Miss in Baton Rouge. Elsewhere throughout college football today, Clemson beat Wake Forest 49-14. Iowa over Washington 40-16. Georgia Tech over UNC 41-34. As I mentioned earlier, Army 44-10 win over UAB. Notre Dame murdering Stanford 49-7. Pitt surviving Cal 17-15. An overtime game in Champaign. Illinois beats Purdue 50-49. Louisville 24, Virginia 20. That is a final out of Charlottesville. Cincinnati pulls off the upset at the bounce house of UCF 19-13. BYU 41, Arizona 19. That one in Provo earlier. Georgia 41, Mississippi State 31. That was a pretty close game for a while. And then later this evening, it'll be Kansas State at Colorado, Boise State at Hawaii. And last night, by the way, if you didn't catch it, Arizona State upset Utah in Tempe. Again, just checking to see if we have any updates. Iowa State, West Virginia still tied at 7. And Florida, Tennessee, Florida still leads 3-0. So 2 upset alerts, 2 unranked teams either tied or beating ranked teams right now. And we are back here. 9 of you in here. Appreciate you all being with us this evening as we get back to action in Eugene here as I send us back to our graphic. That is going to be a stop of Oregon. Who was that on the stop there? Tyleek Williams, the senior defensive tackle out of Manassas, Virginia. A solid play by him there. Oregon's going to pass it. Incomplete. 3rd and 9. Gabriel could not get it to his target. Number 3 there. That was, who was that? Terrence Ferguson, the senior tight end. Folks, drop a comment. Give your thoughts on this game. This is a great game and a great slate of games generally today, by the way, as I mentioned a few minutes ago. Ole Miss up 10-7 on LSU. So we got 2 ranked versus ranked and 2 unranked versus ranked games that are of note right now. And also Vandy, Kentucky. I forgot to mention that. That's happening right now. Gabriel goes deep. Has a man. Woo! Touchdown, Ducks. The reception there by Tez Johnson, the transfer from Troy, and the senior wideout makes a play and ties this game at 21 with 1:17 to go in the second quarter. The PAT on its way. It is up and it is good. 22-21. Number 3, Oregon leads number 2, Ohio State. So, what a drive there. So, 1:17 to go here in the second quarter. And Oregon will kick off. So, here we go. 1st and 10 for the Buckeyes. So, Howard will throw, get a few yards, about a 5-6 yard gain. Howard throws just short of the 1st down. And it will be 3rd down with 55 seconds to go. So here we go. 4th down for Ohio State. Let's see what happened on this 3rd down. It's a good tackle there. Again, this Oregon defense, they're playing not – I mean, the score doesn't look like they're playing too well, but they've made some pretty good tackles, I would say. So, Uwe Galele there. So 4th and 1 for Ohio State, 49 seconds to go. Meanwhile, in that Ole Miss LSU game, Jackson Dart just threw a dime of a touchdown pass. And now it's going to be Ole Miss 17-7. So here we go. 4th and 1 for Ohio State. They will punt, as you would expect them to, with 49 seconds to go here in the 2nd quarter. The punt is away and sent to the 30-yard line. So here we go. Let's see if Oregon can do anything with the 44 seconds on the clock. Dylan Gabriel will be starting this drive with his line of scrimmage at the 30. Going to pass the ball. Under pressure, he's going to escape and just run it. Slides for about 5 yards. No late slide penalty call. Meanwhile, in Morgantown, Iowa State now leading West Virginia 14-7. So the Mountaineers trying to have an upset finally after their loss to Penn State and a couple other, I guess one other tough loss, the Pitt loss. They're going to need a touchdown if they want to come back. And Florida driving into Tennessee territory, still up 3-0 on the Vols. So 17 seconds to go here in the 2nd half. It is number 3, Oregon, 22. Number 2, Ohio State, 21. Julian in the chat. Dude, that was such a great win for you guys. Such a great win. You guys should have some. I mean, I know USC was unranked, but I thought they were going to win that football game. I'm excited to see what happens in Penn State, Ohio State. Ohio State has to go to Penn State. Happy Valley, tough atmosphere, probably at night. It's going to be insane. 4th and 6 now for Oregon. They will probably punt with 12 seconds to go. Ohio State's going to call a timeout so they can't just run the clock out. So, yeah, Julian, congrats on that dub, dude. Big dub in SoCal. Okay, here we go. The punt from Oregon with 12 seconds to go. They're going to motion some guys out here. I don't know what they're doing. We'll see. They're going to punt it and send it all the way to the 20-yard line. 6 seconds to go. And we will head to the half. It is Oregon 22, Ohio State 21. And the Ducks looking to pull off the upset of Ohio State here in Eugene, Oregon. So we see Dan Lanning getting interviewed after a pretty solid, I would say, first half performance offensively by his team. Defensively, not as much because they gave 21 points, but still pretty solid job. Before we head to the half, let me run you through some quick scores. With 1:25 to go in the second quarter, it's Ole Miss 17-7. Elsewhere in college football, let's take a look at the live scores as we see them. As ESPN loads, because that's how I'm going to see these scores. Iowa State 14-7 over West Virginia. 10-0 Florida leads Tennessee. New Mexico 38-17 over Air Force. Washington State 13-7 over Fresno State. That's now in the third quarter, getting back from the half. Oregon State 17, Nevada 14 in the third quarter. Vandy, after beating Alabama, now leads Kentucky 13-7 in the second. Syracuse 10, NC State nothing in the second quarter, and UCLA up 7-0 on Minnesota in the first quarter. That will do it for me. And now for the halftime show. Not for singing, but for talking about whatever he's going to talk about. My dad, please welcome in the great Jason.
Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, kid. I have certainly anchored my share of halftime shows, having done that at the National Football League level. Not that that makes me any more qualified to do anything like this because, well, Anthony does his thing. This is his spot. And at the same time, we're going to have a little bit of fun. My take is going to be a little bit more about the culture of the sport than it necessarily would be about, okay, what's happening, particularly on the field in this spot. And I want to tell you something. Having seen games before at Oregon, at Autzen Stadium, not in person, but covering college sports through the years that I did, that place, it doesn't seem as massive as the great SEC and Big Ten stadiums. Certainly, it doesn't have the capacity. But if you're a visitor going into that stadium, you are intimidated. Why is that? Well, it's a simple fact that the crowd and the way the stadium is built is right on top of you. It is so absolutely it's so close to the field. It is constructed so the noise just reverberates. It is one of the loudest places to play in comparison with capacity of any stadium of any type in America. Football, college or pro, baseball, even the indoor sports, basketball and hockey. Autzen Stadium is such a hard place to play. That's one of the reasons I would imagine that Oregon has been able to accumulate this lead beyond its amazing talent. And the other thing I think about with Oregon is how it has now developed its talent and become such a strong program in the last 30 years. Oregon was about as useless on the national scene in college football as Wisconsin was, again, being from Wisconsin initially and having worked for the Badgers radio network for a few years. It was absolutely as useless on the national scene as Wisconsin was until Barry Alvarez showed up at UW and changed the culture there. What changed Oregon's culture right around the same time? Well, a guy named Phil Knight and Nike, based right there. His hands have been on that program since Nike became a world player, a deep world player, as its shoe brand and sports brand expanded. And it was in 1994 when Oregon finally broke through and made a Rose Bowl for the first time in modern times. They lost to Penn State, but they belonged on that field. And ever since then, The Oregon Ducks have been a constant player in college football. They played for a national championship, losing, of course, to Cam Newton and company. But the fact that they played for the national title in 2010 is still a hallmark of just how much this program has grown. And I give them credit for diving into the Big Ten, which is such a hard move to make, and be able to be right at the level of the great Ohio State program and be able to say, you know what, we can win a national title. And a game like this sends a message. If they get this done, you could make an argument they belong at number one because they beat number two in such a challenging atmosphere. At the same time, I think you probably still have to put Texas number one because they've just dominated people. I don't know if Texas has been challenged. I don't know how well they're going to get challenged by anybody. Georgia's going to prove that next week. Georgia, that contest will prove the worthiness of Texas. The last time they had a challenging game, that wasn't this year. They went into the big house in Michigan and rolled on them. They destroyed them. So, yeah, I think you probably still have to keep Texas number one. But Oregon, a highly solid number two. And nearly number one if they win this thing tonight against Ohio State. Baseball road tripper in the house. How you doing? Yeah, this program, yeah, they belong. They've become one of the, with Phil Knight's money, they've become one of the blue bloods of college football. Didn't think I'd say that. I would ever say that decades ago, but they've become that. Of course, glad my Wisconsin Badgers beat Rutgers this afternoon in Piscataway, New Jersey. If you go onto our channel, you would actually be able to see our experience at the previous Wisconsin-Rutgers game from back in 2021, a few months after we moved here to Philadelphia and to the East Coast. And it is so cool to go to a game in the stadium that was the birthplace of college football. Yes, football, college football, and football as we know it in America. Absolutely. It began in New Jersey. Never did I think that. Blue chip quality. Phenomenal Oregon football. Let's continue this momentum in marathon and win this. I assume you mean 2024 national championship rematch and win it all this year. 11-2, 13-0. And yes, Alex, it is the halftime show. Anthony will be back to take care of the rest. He's having his dad, yours truly, take over for halftime as he enjoys a well-deserved late dinner. So I definitely think with Oregon, any team that goes in there, you have as hard of a task of winning games as you do in any stadium in college football. Just like what Mississippi is facing today, taking on LSU tonight and beating LSU right now as they've just begun. They're about to go to the third. They're about to go to halftime there, 17-10. Ole Miss getting the job done so far. But Oregon, LSU, Alabama, yes, Ohio State, some of the toughest and greatest atmospheres in college football and the hardest places to win in college football. So if Ohio State comes back and pulls this off, credit to them. If Ole Miss holds on and beats LSU, major credit to them because of how just gigantic the stadium is and how literally loud it gets. There's a reason they call that place Death Valley. You go in to Baton Rouge and win, extra credit. Extra credit. I mean, to me, this would put Ole Miss in maybe a top 5 category. I don't know. I don't know. I would also say Alabama. They might fall in the rankings despite winning today. Because to allow South Carolina, 3-2 team coming in, to allow South Carolina to come within one bad pass by their quarterback twice in the fourth quarter of beating Bama is absolutely insane and would make you feel incredulous if you're a Bama fan that they would allow South Carolina to get that close. This, to me, speaks volumes of how much they miss Nick Saban right now at that program. Doesn't mean DeBoer can't get the job done. But I think he's going to have major growth as a coach before you see Bama return to the top flight. I would say they are at risk. One more loss, and I think they may be done with a chance of making the national championship tournament, the college football playoff, with it being a 12-team tournament. To those 13 of you who are with us, thank you for joining us. Anthony's going to be taking over at the start of the third quarter or perhaps earlier as he enjoys a well-earned dinner. But, yes, back to, Alabama, they are in major danger. One more loss, I think they are done in terms of having a chance to make the college football playoff.
If you have 2 losses, you're out.
Yes, he just said it. 2 losses, forget about it. Now, he and I have been talking all day about this one scenario that I would love to put forward, would love to happen. I don't know if Army or Navy have the bandwidth to beat Notre Dame. They are both on Notre Dame's schedule this year. But if both of them do, just how incredible would it be to have Army-Navy, yes, that would be the AAC championship game, held before the traditional Army-Navy game in the second weekend of December. But just how incredible would it be to see Army and Navy play a game that becomes a de facto play-in game for the college football playoff? The most important game in the history, in the best rivalry in college football, maybe the best rivalry in American sports. And that would decide who gets to play in the college football playoff. The most important game that pair of teams has played since the 1940s, since World War II. How cool would that be? I would put it to the AAC to say, if it truly becomes a de facto playoff game, then don't even play the game as the quote-unquote championship game on a campus site on the first Saturday of December. Just say, we're doing it the way they've got it set up for the traditional matchup, and the winner goes to the playoff. That would be such a sweet, sweet, sweet game to watch. So that is my pitch to the people who run the college football world. Make it happen if those two teams somehow run the table, including beating Notre Dame. Notre Dame put a pasting on Stanford today. So I'm not so sure that either one of those programs has what it takes to take care of the Irish. But they're both going to be playing Notre Dame in or around New York City coming up later on this year. Those are games to catch. Those are definitely games to catch if you happen to be around here on the East Coast. You can take the trip up to New York or to the Meadowlands and see one of those two games happen. If you're a college football fan, that, even just as a neutral, that's a game to go to. Because both those games are old school rivalries as well. If you go back dating to and before World War II, both those series mean everything to those schools. I mean, they played Army Notre Dame, Navy Notre Dame played plenty of games that decided pathways to national championships, and it can happen again. But again, right now, the game you're watching, the game that Anthony is streaming with you, will have American Football Network out as well joining us. 22-21 Oregon over Ohio State. 3-2. A litmus test for Oregon to see if they belong with the big boys in the Big Ten. And a crazy road test for Ohio State in one of the hardest places to win on the road in college football. That's what makes this expanded and hyper accelerated Big Ten, the hyper growth Big Ten. Same thing with the SEC as it's now become. Seemingly reach an entirely new level of incredible week in, week out college football. That's the fun of these super leagues. Granted, there are things that I can't stand about what's happening with college football right now. Just how these conferences have crazily revamped themselves instead of the steadiness of what we've seen for so long. I think you lose a lot of rivalry games. I think the focus on money is too much, but that's not going to change. But the positives of it are also by far incredible because you have so many top-level games every week with these two conferences. That's the fun of having this. Anthony's just minutes away back from joining us, getting things arranged for the second half cast as American Football Network will be coming in and taking part. We're witnessing the very end of the first half between Ole Miss and LSU, as LSU tries to cut Ole Miss's lead down to 17-13.
Still going on.
It is still going on the first half. And LSU boots it through. Ole Miss's lead now cut to 17-13.
American Football Network may be joining.
Okay, thank you.
His internet is his entire internet just went out.
Oh.
So he's trying to get that fixed, but
we're having technical difficulties. Please stand by. To be determined, no matter what it's going to be, Anthony. He's been doing a great job on this so far. And if you ever get a chance, go subscribe to WSJP on YouTube.
Go Pratt, beat Roman.
That is the student broadcast station for St. Joseph's Preparatory School, where we are so proud that Anthony's attending. Amazing school here in Philadelphia. And they have a student radio station that broadcasts all the football games for a team that is going to rise from its current top 50 national ranking. It's number 50 national ranking in Max Prep's ranking of all the top high school football programs in the country. I mean, to think that there are is it now 3 or is it 4 Philadelphia area schools that are top 100? I want to say it's at least 3. And 3 just in the Philadelphia Catholic Conference.
PCL's good.
The PCL's amazing, the Philadelphia Catholic League. A ton of college football talent coming from those schools. As an example, the Harrison family, yes, of Marvin Harrison, sends their kids there. The Trotter family, yes, of Jeremiah Trotter, sends their kids there. They've all gone to college. We're seeing Harrison kids making the pros, Trotter kids making the pros.
Chad Harrison's a freshman at prep. He's a beast.
Yes.
Leading receiver yesterday.
So, phenomenal talent. And Anthony's part of the student broadcast there. Go subscribe to them. WSJP. Go check out their YouTube channel. The next broadcast is going to be happening Saturday night next week, 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
Under the lights. Under
the lights of the most historic stadium in America in terms of age.
Stadium in college football.
The oldest stadium in college football. Thank you. Franklin Field on the campus of the University of Pennsylvania here in Philadelphia, home of the Penn Quakers for more than a decade, the home of the Philadelphia Eagles. It's crazy. You're broadcasting a game you'll be on the sidelines working, correct?
I think so.
Yeah, he'll be working the sidelines. But he'll get to work the sidelines where NFL legends have walked. That's going to be fun. And a late start, too. 8 o'clock kickoff. Ooh, it's going to be a fun atmosphere. I cannot wait to go to that game.
We will not be live for any college football next week.
Yes, there will not be any lives for college football, unfortunately, for that reason. Maybe we might do NFL and might do some Packers. We'll see. We shall see. So the kid is getting close to the end of his dinner time, which means he'll be back bringing you the second half of Ohio State and Oregon. As much as I cannot stand the Buckeyes myself, I have to give love to Ohio State as a venue for college football as we are just about to start the third quarter. But I've covered a Wisconsin Badgers game at Ohio State, at Ohio Stadium. Insane place to watch a game, and such history there as well. I've been there with a crowd of more than 100,000. Remember sitting up in the press box on the top deck of the stadium, behind the top deck? It is like you are watching a game from the moon. It's so high up, but it is fun. It is such a fun atmosphere. Bucket list kind of place if you're a college football fan. Go to a game at Ohio Stadium. Seeing the Script Ohio from the Ohio State band, phenomenal. Just phenomenal. As we're about to kick off here, Ohio State will kick it off going northwest to southeast as you watch. Heads out for a touchback. And again, the nighttime dusk setting at Autzen Stadium.
You can say on with me if you want. I don't care.
Nah, I'd love to, but I do have work I've got to get going and do it. But the nighttime scene at Autzen Stadium, come on in and take over. But that scene of dusk as the sun falls, spectacular.
Yeah.
It's all yours.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to the third quarter now, as I'm about to change the graphic of Ohio State, Oregon. Dylan Gabriel will take over with this Oregon offense. They're going to run it to start for no gain. It will be 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line. OSU defense coming into today, allowing 6.8 per game in a one half, allowing 22 points. This Oregon offense is explosive with Gabriel, and he's going to throw it across the middle, incomplete. We'll set up a 3rd and 10 as we switch over our graphic. As my dad mentioned just a few moments ago, it's Ole Miss 17, LSU 13 at the half. Elsewhere around the great sport of college football, let's take a quick look at our active scores. Let's get no, Tony. No. 199 pints at Broken Bat Beer Company. That's a deep ball. And Stewart, does he have it? Yes, he does. 1st and 10 Ducks. And also $1.99 tickets for Lake Shore Chinooks games, select days, because Jesse Winker had a $1.99 average with the Brewers. He was terrible. At the half, it's Iowa State 14, West Virginia 10. It is at the end of the third, 10-10, Florida, Tennessee. Watch out for that upset. Florida with the ball in Tennessee territory heading into the fourth quarter. Air Force is losing, the only service academy not undefeated, 45-24 to New Mexico in the fourth quarter. At the end of the third, it's Washington State 16, Fresno State 14. In the third quarter in Nevada, it is the Beavers of Oregon State 24, the Nevada Wolfpack 21. In the SEC, Vandy 14, Kentucky 7 at the half. Syracuse 10, NC State 7 at the half in ACC action. And in the second quarter, it's UCLA 7-0 over Minnesota. at the Rose Bowl. That is what's going on around college football. Now let's get back to this. It's 3rd and 8 for the Ducks in their own territory. And Gabriel handed it, or actually just had to kind of throw it away there. Didn't have much to do. (22-21), 13-22 to go here in the third quarter. 3rd and 8 for the Ducks. Gabriel ready to go. Clock winding down. Will he get it off? I think he will. Yes, he will. Under pressure. Blitzed by 4. Escapes. Run. Sacked. 4th and 8 will be the scenario here. And Oregon is going to have to punt this after a great sack by Ohio State. Gabriel dodges one guy, dodges another guy, dodges a third, dodges a fourth. But number 92, Caden Curry from Greenwood, Indiana, the junior defensive end, comes up big for the squad. A punt away will give Ohio State the ball here in the third quarter. Sideline wardrobe. So it's social media. It's not actually, we don't have a sideline reporter. We just have like social media. So I'll just be like taking videos, I think, and stuff. The dress code is wear something St. Just wrap. So t-shirt, hoodie, jacket. Most guys wear jackets or like a quarter zip or just something prep. That's it. But yeah, go prep, beat Roman next week, folks. 12 of you in here. Appreciate you all in here watching with us on this gorgeous night for college football. I mean, Autzen Stadium in Eugene, Oregon. The temperature there currently is, as I try to open up the temperature in Oregon, but there we go. Eugene, Oregon. It is 67, feels like 66. That's gorgeous football weather. Absolutely gorgeous weather for football. For some Big Ten action. Should it be Big Ten? That's another question. Should it be Pac-12, Pac-10, Pac-8, whatever you want to call it? That's another question. But we got 2 great teams playing this evening. Number 2 versus number 3. We will see one of them probably move down to number 4. The other will stay number 2. Depending on who wins this game, I'm expecting Penn State to probably move up in the rankings. But yeah, let's see what happens. Baseball road tripper, thoughts on the absolutely boring last 4 teams in the MLB playoffs? I'm at this point just wanting a Subway series just for the fun of it, but like I haven't seen one in my lifetime, but that's like about the only thing I really want. Other than that, I'm just going to be watching. Sorry for the baseball talk, football fans. I apologize. But as you can see, like I'm wearing a Jackie Robinson t-shirt, baseball first, but I do have a nice little Eagles hat on. Go Birds. Go Birds. Anything else going on? Nothing really. Seems like there's no score in the USA-Panama soccer game and Mauricio Pochettino's debut. Yeah, 0-0 in the 37th. Let's go ahead. Oh, beautiful view of the moon. Yeah, the Dodgers are too big market. The Mets are too big market. The Yankees are too big market. So, Guardians, I want them to win, but like a Subway, for a matchup, the Subway Series would be the coolest. As we see the great NBC crew, folks, give it up for Noah Eagle and Todd Blackledge. Give them your praises. Noah Eagle is arguably the best basketball announcer. Arguably. Like, Mike Breen's Mike Breen. But Noah Eagle killed it on the Olympics with D-Wade. As Ohio State's going to start this off with a run there. So a nice run to start this off for the Buckeyes. It's Quinshawn Judkins out of Pike Road, Alabama. The transfer from Ole Miss, who again is playing LSU right now. 12:08 clock running, 2nd and 7 here in the third quarter. Howard in a shotgun with a man to his right. He's going to hand the ball off. No, he won't. He's going to go play action. Throws deep. He has a man. A beautiful throw. Gets it to Jeremiah Smith, the 17-year-old freshman wideout out of Miami Gardens, Florida. He went to Chaminade Madonna Prep, and what a catch by him. Going to run it for a few yards there, which is going to set us up here after the Judkins run for a 2nd down. Thoughts on Bob Costas? Oh, I love Bob Costas, dude. I know he hasn't been perfect. He hasn't been perfect, but dude, I love Bob Costas. Just whatever he does, he's still good. Like, he hasn't been perfect at it, but he's Bob Costas. That's all I gotta say. Will Howard throws, has a man across the middle. That's their tight end. What a catch, getting them inside the 10-yard line. And OSU moving down the field. Guy Scott Jr., the grad tight end out of Eastside Catholic in Seattle, with a big catch over the middle, gets them in a good spot to score a touchdown and take this lead in the third quarter. 1st and goal, Buckeyes. They're going to put a few men in motion. Howard is going to fake the handoff, go play action. He's got a receiver at the 10. He will go out at the 6-yard line. That right there was, let's see, who was that? That would have been Emeka Egbuka, the grad receiver out of Steilacoom, Washington. That will set up a 2nd and goal with 9:50 to go in the third quarter. Autzen Stadium hoping for an Oregon win, but the Buckeye faithful, who a few of them have traveled. You see some specks of red throughout the crowd. They're wanting the road team to be victorious. Howard's going to run, and he is going to throw it, actually. Touchdown, Buckeyes. Jeremiah Smith gets in, and it is 27-22, Ohio State in the third. Howard was under pressure. He found a man to throw it to. He got that man open in the end zone, and it is an Ohio State lead in this 2 versus 3 matchup in Eugene, Oregon. Now we will await the PAT after that 6-play, 79-yard scoring drive from the Buckeyes. The PAT up and good. Ohio State leads by 6. We are not going anywhere, folks. Stay with us as we are going to go ahead, I think. How much time do we got left in the quarter? Are they going to tell me? Because we might, depending on how much time we got left in the quarter, that's going to depend on exactly what we're going to do here for this break. Let's see. Our time left, 9:27. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do our trivia question in the third quarter. Folks, every quarter for a college football game, we do a trivia question. So, our third quarter trivia question, or by the way, our first two, for those of you who weren't in here, the first one was, when was the last time Oregon hosted college game day? The answer was, that was 2022, to be specific, week 8 versus UCLA. Sabrina Ionescu was the guest picker. Lee Corso picked Oregon, and Oregon won 45-30. The second quarter question was, which father and son were the first to both have captained the Ohio State Buckeyes? The correct answer was Jim Herbstreit and Kirk Herbstreit. Now to your third quarter question. How many Rose Bowl appearances does each team have? And if you can give me their records there, awesome. I would love that. It would be incredible. Please drop your responses and answers in the comments. I will give a few minutes before we get to the answer. An animal fight. Ducks versus Buckeyes How many on each side? Ooh, that's a good question. Yeah, I don't know, but I know the Ducks are going to win, just like they're going to win tonight. I'm not a Ducks fan, but I don't like Ohio State, so we're hoping for that. Hopefully, we will be able to have American Football Network join us here momentarily, or at least later in the half. We will see. Either way, subscribe to American Football Network. He's awesome. Go check out his stuff. I will probably be on with him at some point, I'm assuming. I'm guessing at some point next week I'll be on with him. Or not next week, but multiple times left this season. We'll be doing some streams together. Great channel. He's growing quickly. And, yeah, check him out. Cool guy. 6 of you in here. Appreciate you sticking with us on this Big Ten Saturday night. Speaking of the Rose Bowl, we see the 1958 Rose Bowl when these two teams faced off there on NBC. It is fall in Eugene, just like it is fall across the United States. The orange, yellow, and red leaves on the ground. It just feels like football. As I said, high 60s night is gorgeous football weather in Oregon. If you have not watched any of the game, Ohio State in their classic silver helmets and then the white jerseys, white pants. For Oregon, it is the all-black look. Now it looks awesome under the lights of Autzen Stadium. Here is the kick from the Buckeyes. It is away and will not be returned, as we will have a touchback here in Eugene. Jeremiah Smith, the most touchdown receptions for true freshmen. He is one away from tying Chris Carter. Chris Carter had 8 in 1984. Jeremiah Smith has had 7 so far. Dude's insane. Dude's absolutely insane. As I mentioned earlier, him and Ryan Williams, both 17-year-old guys who are both killing it this season in college football as freshman wideouts. Dylan Gabriel's just going to throw a design screen there. Going to get a reception for a few yards, a decent play there. They got the ball to number 15, Tez Johnson, out of Pinson, Alabama. Going to hand it off for about a couple yards of gain. As we see Geno Smith, the West Virginia grad, who is Jeremiah Smith's cousin in attendance. Also, Jackson Smith in Jigba of the Seahawks, who went to OSU. He's there in attendance as well. Chris Carter, nice Philly, Minnesota connection. Yup. Dylan Gabriel here. Working from the 30-yard line. He's going to throw. He's got a first down. Johnson tackled after a couple yards past the first down. So 1st and 10. About probably, I'd say, a 12 or 13-yard pass there. Pretty good play. So 1st and 10 now for the Ducks. They're going to move quickly. It's going to be Gabriel throws, and it is dropped by number 3. That was Terrence Ferguson, the senior tight end. There will be a flag on the play, though, so we'll see how that goes. As, by the way, start of the third quarter now in Baton Rouge. LSU down 4 to Ole Miss in a top 13 matchup. So keeping tabs on that. Elsewhere around college football, as we see what happened, it's going to be 1st down. So I'm guessing a penalty on Ohio State. I'm not sure. Late hit, maybe. It is Iowa State 14, West Virginia 10. Florida and Tennessee still tied 10-10. And then elsewhere around the Power 5, it's Vandy 14, Kentucky 7, Syracuse 10, NC State 7, UCLA 7, Minnesota 0. Here we go. 8:06 to go in the third quarter. 2nd and 10. Gabriel went play action. He's got a man on the other side of the field for a bat again. Oh, he escapes and gets a couple more yards. A great reception there by number 14, Justice Lowe, that would look like. And on the stat sheet for this evening, the sophomore receiver out of Lake Oswego High School in Portland, Oregon. So 3rd and 1 for the Ducks here. A big play in a big game. They're going to fake the run, go pass here. They throw it deep, incomplete. But a flag on the play. Dan Lanning's excited. I'm guessing it's either a holding or a DPI, meaning that it will be a first down for the Ducks, assuming that's what the call is. An obvious hold there on Ohio State for sure. I don't know if they're going to call it a hold or if they're going to call it DPI, but either way, it was interference with the play and made it impossible for a catch there. We'll see which of the two it is. And I think that's going to be a DPI. Oh, it's a penalty on Oregon. And then the penalty on Ohio State. So penalties on both sides, offsetting penalties. And number 15 there for Oregon. Is that Tez Johnson? It is, yeah. He's confused trying to figure out what he has a penalty on himself for there. Exactly what happened and why there's a penalty on him. I'm not sure, but it's just going to be a replay of 3rd and 1 now. So Oregon with another chance to get a first down. 7:16 to go in the third quarter. The Ducks at their own 48-yard line looking for a first. They're going to run it, and they might have it. I'm not quite sure. We'll see if the spot is generous or not. It's going to be 4th and inches, and now if you're Dan Lanning, are you going for this? I would, personally. I think that's, not Dan Lanning, but their offensive coordinator, who's their play caller. I would go for this. You're down a touchdown at midfield. If you don't get it, you give them decent field position. But the question is, what's the play call here? Is it a run? Is it a pass? They're going to pass it for a first down. And that's going to be a big first down. A great block gets Oregon to the 20-yard line. And a great reception there by number 3, Terrence Ferguson, the senior tight end out of Littleton, Colorado. Made a man miss. And man, that defender, it looks like Denzel Burke there. He made a miss and got all the way down to the 20. And now it's going to be a run for a couple of yards. They'll get 2 or 3 maybe there on James's run. Here's a 5:30 here in running to go in the third quarter. A quick moving third, making up for a very, very slow first half that lasted almost 2 hours. Tennessee has regained the lead over Florida 17-10. So now, and they have the ball back now, so avoiding an upset, it would look like there. Doesn't look like we will see any major upsets this evening if all scores stand other than this Oregon-Ohio State, which technically it's an upset, but felt like a pretty 50-50 game coming into it. We had really not seen either of these teams face a huge test. I guess Oregon-Boise State was kind of a test, but not a huge one. But now 1st and goal for the Ducks. 4:43 to go. at the 9-yard line. Gabriel's going to look to – he's going to pass it, and it is deflected. So 2nd and goal after a batted pass there by the corner for Ohio State. It was Caleb Downs, the sophomore safety out of Houston, Georgia, Mill Creek High School, and a transfer from the University of Alabama. One of the many guys who left after Saban left from the Tide. It's going to be a run for Oregon down to the 2-yard line, and now 2 yards away with 2 downs to score. 4:20 to go in the third quarter and counting. That question for you. Do you have any guesses on the Rose Bowl appearances question I asked a few minutes ago?
I was not wrongly asked it.
Okay. How many Rose Bowl appearances does each team have?
Ohio State, I will guess 37. Okay. Oregon, 8.
As Gabriel throws, end zone, incomplete. Oregon does have 8.
Wow.
So you're correct on that. But Ohio State, you're overestimating Ohio State. Ohio State Rose Bowl appearances. I'm just going to check this because based off of what your guess was. Let's see. Ohio State, yes, has been there 16 times.
There's only been 16 Rose Bowls?
Yup.
That cannot be correct.
I just checked it on their website.
That cannot be correct.
In 2018, they said Ohio State playing for the granddaddy of them all for the 15th time, and then they played one time after 2018. Or excuse me, one time after it was the 2019 Rose Bowl, actually. So that is again according to Ohio State's website. Yeah, 16 appearances, 9 wins, 7 losses.
I'm shocked.
Yeah. So that was the answer to your third quarter trivia question. The fourth quarter one, I forget what it is. Is it a good one or no? It's a pretty good one. It should be pretty easy for any diehard college football fans to get. That's your little teaser for that. Let's go ahead and take a look. While we're on the break here, 7 of you sticking with us. We appreciate your presence here in the chat and in just the YouTube watching. Let's go ahead and look at today's scores, and I actually need to update that. Excuse me for just a second, as I honestly did not get the chance to update this score in Baton Rouge. But it is currently a score of 17-13 in the third quarter there in Baton Rouge. But you can see our 3 finals of the day. If I go ahead and switch this layout here so you all can actually see our final scores. It was Bama 27, South Carolina 25 in an incredible game. Texas absolutely dominating Oklahoma at the Cotton Bowl Stadium in the Red River Showdown, 34-3. What a game it was at the Coliseum, 33-30 Penn State beating USC in overtime. And in Baton Rouge at 17-13, Ole Miss leads LSU.
Can I give you a shocker? Take a guess who's third in most Rose Bowl appearances among Big Ten teams.
Chicago.
Wisconsin.
That was my next guess. I said Chicago because that was just a really random guess.
Because the University of Chicago, yes, was a Big Ten team.
Yes, they were. So So, yes, we're going to go ahead and flip back to our third quarter graphic for you all, folks. For your great people out here with us on this gorgeous Friday night for football. As I'm going to take a very quick, about 20-second break here. I will be right back. I want to see if I can. It doesn't have the E button. All right. So now 2nd down for Ohio State. 2nd and 7 after a 3-yard play there. 3:20 to go here in the third quarter. 28-22, the Buckeyes leading. And that's going to be a reception for a first down. Egbuka there with the first. First and 10 for the Buckeyes. They're going to run it for about 4 or so yards. Clock running here with about 2 minutes and 5 seconds to go in the third quarter. 2nd and 6 for the Buckeyes. As I apologize for some graphic issues we're having. Let's see if that'll help anything. There we go. All good now, folks. So 1:20 to go here. 3rd and 3 for the Buckeyes. As the Oregon faithful are on their feet, looking for a huge, huge stop here. $104 to go here in the third. Fumble, and Howard's going to have to recover it, but it's going to be 4th and something now. So that one is going to go to about the 40-yard line, where Oregon will take over after the punt. So we're seeing what went wrong there for the Ducks on the last drive. So here we go. Oregon with the ball again. 11 seconds to go in the third. They're going to go play action. They're going to get it to Johnson. Johnson to the 50 about, and he fumbled it. But it's going to just be, I think he was out of bounds, though, so I think it's good. At the end of the third, it is Ohio State 28, Oregon 22, right here on Sorgy Stories. And welcome back to Sorgy Stories. It is the fourth quarter. Autzen Stadium on its feet. And what a fourth quarter this should be. The Ducks have the ball. The Ducks have it. They're going to go all the way into Ohio State territory and keep their first down, but now it's all the way down inside the at the 35-yard line. $14:25 to go here in the fourth quarter. It's going to be a throw just short of the first down there for Evan Stewart. Stewart's had quite the game, man. He's been a great weapon for this Oregon team. But yeah, should be a fun fourth quarter here. So here we go. Third down for the Ducks. 12 of you in here. Appreciate all of you being with us, as with 13:37 and the clock running to go, it's 3rd and 2 for Oregon. They look to take the lead at the Ohio State 27 right now. Gabriel's going to run it himself. He has a first down and more to the 20, to the 10. Gabriel is gone. Oregon leads. The quarterback, Dylan Gabriel, sends Autzen Stadium into a bit of a frenzy after an incredible 27-yard touchdown run, tying the game at 28. The PAT for the lead. It's lined up, and it is good. Andrew Boyle with the PAT gives Oregon a 29-28 lead in the fourth quarter. What a game this has been, and what a great fourth quarter this is about to be in Eugene. We are going to take a quick break, but on the other side, back with more action from Eugene, Oregon, as the Buckeyes face the Ducks on a Big Ten Saturday night game. Be right back. Are back here taking a look at college football scores around the sport today. Let's take a look at what's going on right now to start. Iowa State up 14-10 on West Virginia, 5:21 to go in the third. WVU with the ball. Florida down a touchdown to Tennessee at the 2-minute warning. They're deep in Vol territory. They are looking for an upset against the Vols in Knoxville. Washington State on the road at Fresno State, up 22-17 in a matchup between two really good group of 5 schools. Ole Miss up 17-13 on LSU, who has the ball. 7-17 to go in the third quarter there. Oregon State losing to Nevada, 35-30. That one has 6:59 to go in the fourth quarter. In Lexington, it's Vanderbilt 17-7 coming off their big win against Bama. 1:42 to go in the third quarter there. It's Syracuse 17, NC State 7. In Raleigh, 1:24 to go in the fourth there. And UCLA up on Minnesota 7-0 at the Rose Bowl. 34 seconds until the halftime in LA. After the Oregon touchdown, Ohio State will have the ball at their own 25 after the touchback. And we're seeing this beautiful fake. Gabriel just ran with it, made one man miss, made another miss, and no one was catching him from there. And great blocking as well by the tight end. Beautiful play execution there. 1st and 10 Buckeyes now here as they look to regain the lead. 13:20 to go here in the 4th. Howard's going to hand it off for no gain. No real loss either, though. And that on that one was number 26 for the Ducks. It was Ife Obedigu? I'm not sure. Tough name to pronounce. It's spelled like Iffy Obedigu or Obedegwu, the DB, freshman DB out of Baltimore, St. Francis Academy. Howard's just going to run himself. He'll get about 5 yards, so 3rd and 5 there. So 12:20 clock running to go here in the 4th quarter. 3rd and 4 for the Buckeyes. Howard throws. He has a man. 1st down. Jagbuka there makes a really solid play to get the first for OSU. Sup, Nick? Welcome in, sir. They're going to go play action. Howard under pressure, throws incomplete. Smith couldn't hold on. Nick, is Florida still driving against you guys? What's going on there? Because last I saw they were driving, but I'm not exactly sure what's happening right now. I have the Ole Miss LSU game on. We've 2 TV set up down here, so I've got this game that we're streaming, and then I've got the Ole Miss LSU game on a second screen. Florida with the ball at the Tennessee 27 now, 55 seconds to go. Okay. They're going to hand it off to Henderson, it looks like, and he'll get a few yards, make it a 3rd and 4 with 11:22 to go. Clock will run because I guess he was – I don't know. I thought he got out of bounds. Apparently not. 3rd and 7. Oh, that's farther than I thought. The Oregon faithful on their feet. Knowing the significance of this play right here. 10:55 to go. Howard looks to pass. Under pressure. Has a man. Yes, he does. Smith for a 1st down. 10:40 to go. Clock running in the 4th. And Smith with a beautiful route was open. And knocked down very soon after the catch. Ohio State driving. Something bad must have happened in the game because Nick is mad about their defense. Oh, Florida tied it. If they make the PAT, they'll tie it at least. How about that, Dad?
What's that?
Florida with a PAT ties Tennessee with 29 seconds to go in the 4th. We're actually going to find our second remote and flip that. Where is our other remote? It's somewhere down here. But back in this one after a false start there. There it is. No, I mean the one for this TV. Sorry. Oh, it's right here. I got it. Here we go. Ohio State Howard throws. Has Igbuka for second down here. Okay. 17 all, by the way, now in this Tennessee game. And in Morgantown, it's still Iowa State 14, West Virginia 10 at the end of the third quarter. 2nd and 7 for Ohio State. Will Howard looking to get the Buckeyes the lead back after losing it just a few minutes ago. Howard's going to fake the handoff. He's got a man. Smith for the first down and a little bit more inside the 30-yard line. First down, Buckeyes, 9:01 to go, clock running. What is Florida doing? What is this formation? A squib, I guess? I don't know. Howard throws across the middle. First down to Igbuka. And now they're going to throw back out. Okay. Yeah, the Flyers started about a half hour ago, Nick. I hope they're doing well. Nice play by Igbuka there. Sets up with 8 minutes to go. 1st and 10 inside the 20-yard line. False start on OSU's lineman there. Oh, just the slightest of movements. So now 1st and 15, that penalty on number 77, Tegra Shabola, out of Westchester, Ohio. 1st and 15, Howard under pressure. He'll gain maybe 1 or 2 yards. Probably a gain of 1 to make it 2nd and 14. And he's going to have to, it looks like, that's really cool, Nick. 25-minute ceremony. Remembering Johnny Hockey. The Flyers are like new seats in the Wells Fargo. Nice. All right, here we go. 7:05 to go. 2nd and 14 for OSU. Clock running here in the 4th. The Buckeyes need a score to win it. Howard's going to throw. He's going to get it complete to Henderson, but not much of a gain. Going to set up probably a 3rd and 12 here for OSU with 6:40 to go. The Oregon faithful on their feet, making noise here for this 3rd and 13. $6:23 to go. Howard has it. Looks to pass. He's got a man. It is incomplete. And that will set up 4th and 13 for the Buckeyes. Meanwhile, in the Tennessee-Florida game, Nico Iamaleava is going to throw a pass, but it's going to be incomplete, it looks like. So sets up a 3rd and 9 with 18 seconds to go in the Vols game. Looks like they'll be heading to OT, but a guy injured for them. Back here, though, in this game, Jaden Fielding going for the lead. It's a 40-yard attempt. Does he have it? Yes, he does. The score now with 6 minutes to go is Ohio State 31, Oregon 29. We will be back in just a moment after a quick break. Eugene, Oregon, with 6 minutes to go. The kick is going to be a touchback, and Oregon will have to go 75 yards to the end zone. Although they could just kick a field goal if they wanted to. Win it that way. So we're seeing the kicking struggles of the Ducks. And the stop's on 4th down. Here we go. Oregon with the ball. 6 minutes to go in the 4th. It's 1st and 10. Gabriel, play action. He's going to throw to his back. He'll get about 6 or so yards. Will the back Noah Whittingham out of Fort Valley, Georgia, Peach County High School, and the transfer from Western Kentucky. 2nd and 5, they're going to throw it. That's going to be Tez Johnson, I think, there for the first down, all right? Was that Tez? Yes, it was. Good reception, runs, and yeah, he got the first. So 1st and 10 5:15 to go, clock running. They're going to run it, get a few yards. Okay, Oregon just going a little bit of ground and pound here. But again, Whittingham there on the carry. 4:44, clock running. They're going to go 5 wide now, but now they're going to move the guy to the backfield. Okay, I thought they were actually about to go 5 wide. And they're going to run it again. Get a few more yards. Going to set up probably a 3rd and 5 for the Ducks. Clock still running, 4:25 to go. 3rd and 6 here for Oregon. This is it. This is the game right here, possibly. Oregon needs a first down here to keep this drive going. They're going to hand it off again. And James gets a first down and a little bit more. And when Oregon needs a first down the most, they go to their trusted back to get that first down. Jordan James, the junior back out of Nashville, Tennessee, was the guy on the carry who keeps this drive moving. Now at their own 48, Dylan Gabriel, he's going to throw deep. Not super deep, but he's got a man. His tight end down to the 25. And what a play there by Terrence Ferguson to get them within field goal range now. It was kind of deep. It was a 27-yard play. Pretty impressive there. Now at the 26, Gabriel fakes it. He's going to go back to Johnson. Johnson makes a man miss. Goes down. Clock running. 2:55 to go. Oregon in field goal range. They have a golden opportunity to win this football game. 2nd and 8 for the Ducks. 2:40 to go. Gabriel's going to look to throw. He throws end zone. Incomplete. But a flag on the play. So Evan Stewart there was the targeted receiver. We'll see if it's DPI or if it's something else. Meanwhile, in Knoxville, Tennessee, we are headed to overtime with a score of 17. Should be interesting to see what happens and if Florida can pull off the upset of Tennessee this evening. We'll see, Cody. We will see. But here in Eugene, we've got 2:18 to go, and that is going to be PI on Hancock, the DB for Ohio State. So now at the 9-yard line, Oregon has the ball. They're going to run it for a few yards, get it down to the 5. Clock's going to keep running all the way down to the 2-minute mark here. And we have made it to the 2-minute warning. What a game it has been. Ohio State, Oregon, 2 versus 3, and it has been insane the whole way. Let's go ahead and take one final look around college football for the evening. As I mentioned, it currently is 17-17 heading into overtime between Florida and Tennessee at Autzen Stadium. Iowa State leads West Virginia 21-10 now. They look like they're going to win that one. It's Ole Miss 20, LSU 16 in the third quarter. In the first, it's Colorado 6, Kansas State 0. And let's go ahead and take a quick look while we're still on the break at what happened earlier today around college football. As I go ahead and grab this here for so we can get an update. Actually, let's take a live look in at the Florida-Tennessee game here. Florida with the ball, 2nd and 10 in overtime. As they look to get the lead here. Nine of you in here. Appreciate you all sticking with us. As we're on the break, we are going to switch this on over to our Week 7 scoreboard. I talked about it earlier. Bama 27, South Carolina 25 in an incredible game. Texas beat Oklahoma 34-3 in a not very close game. It was Penn State 33, USC 30 in overtime at the Coliseum, and it's 20-16, Ole Miss leading LSU heading into the fourth. And now as we look here, it is 31-29 in Eugene, Oregon. 2nd and goal for the Ducks. All they need is 3 points to win this one. Gabriel hands it off. The rush gets all the way down to the 2-yard line. That was Noah Whittingham there on the carry. $1:54 to go after an Ohio State timeout, their first of the half. Meanwhile, in this game between Florida and Tennessee, Florida looking to kick to win as we're in a timeout here in Eugene, as I mentioned. If Florida kicks it, they'll be up 3 and forcing Tennessee to score. It's going to be 47 yards for them. Up, and it is no good. Or is it? No good. So Tennessee, now all they need is a score to survive the scare of Florida. But back here in Eugene, it's 3rd and goal. This is it, folks. A big, big play to decide whether it's going to be 7 or 3 for the Ducks. At the 2-yard line, they're going to hand it off up the middle. Maybe they got a yard out of it, but they're not in the end zone. 4th and goal, 1:51 to go. Ohio State will use their 2nd timeout. They ran it up the middle with James, and he could not get very far. Maybe he got a yard. So 4th and goal here. Dan Lanning's talking it over. You'd think they're going to kick it here. We'll see. And they will. Here comes Sappington onto the field. Atticus Sappington, the junior out of Central Catholic High School in Portland, Oregon. He transferred from the rival Oregon State, and now a 19-yard attempt to give Oregon the lead against number 2, Ohio State. The kick is up, and it is good! Oregon leads. The score is 30-31 after Sappington makes an awesome play, an awesome kick. Only 19 yards, but still, clutch kick. We are going to take a very, very, very quick break. We will be back as soon as the broadcast is back momentarily. Welcome back, folks. We have an update elsewhere in college football. Tennessee survives overtime against Florida. That final score, 23-17 in overtime. That's your final. We are waiting to get back from the break as Ohio State will get the ball with under 2 minutes. Meanwhile, it's 3rd and 7 in the fourth quarter here for Ole Miss as they lead by 4 against LSU. Iowa State 27-10 over West Virginia. Colorado up 7-0 over Kansas State. That's all that's happening, at least among ranked teams currently. Elsewhere, our other scores are currently Nevada 42, Oregon State 37, Vanderbilt 20-13 over Kentucky, Syracuse up 24-14 over NC State, UCLA up 10-0 on Minnesota. We are back, though, as the kickoff to Ohio State will be a touchback. And here come the Buckeyes as they look to win this football game. They've got 1 minute and 47 seconds to do so. Will Howard on the field in an incredible Autzen Stadium atmosphere. Here we go. Howard looks under pressure, and he goes down. 1:40 clock running. Howard's trying to get Ohio State's offense to move. Oregon's taking their good old sweet time. And it seems like Howard can't hear, trying to get an audible. They're going to get a playoff. Going to throw short of the first down, but at least it's progress. They got that one to Tate. It's going to be 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8 maybe. 1:10 to go here in the fourth. 3rd and 6 for the Buckeyes at their own 29. Howard gets the ball off quick. Under pressure throws. He's got Ekbuk. Ooh, is that? Yeah. Was that? Yeah, that was him. It was going to be right there. Emeka Egbuka with the reception. First down, Ohio State with a minute to go. The clock stops under 2 minutes for first downs in both the second quarter and fourth quarter. So now a minute to go with the clock stopped for the Buckeyes. Howard looks to throw. He has a man across the middle. It's going to be a first down for Jeremiah Smith, or not a first down, but close to it for Jeremiah Smith. Clock running, 50 seconds to go in the fourth. OSU just short of midfield here on 2nd and 1. Will Howard looks to throw. He's got a man deep. Jeremiah Smith into Oregon territory. And now Ohio State with 34 seconds looks like they may be in the range for a field goal. Let's see what happens here. First and 10 for the Buckeyes, 34 seconds to go. Will Howard's offense has the ball at Oregon's 28-yard line. Howard looks to throw, has a man deep, incomplete. No flag on the play. Smith was the target, could not come down with it. A bit of an overthrow by Howard. .28 seconds to go. 2nd and 10 for the Buckeyes. Howard looks to throw. Under pressure, steps up, has Smith just short of the first down, but a flag. We'll see who it's on. It's going to be on OSU. Disappointment on the face of Will Howard. As let's see what happened. OPI? Is that the call, or is it? I don't know exactly what the call is. I don't have the sound on, but it's on OSU. Will Howard's not happy about it. Neither is Travion Henderson. Yeah, it's offensive pass interference on Jeremiah Smith. 22 seconds to go. Ohio State backed all the way up to their own, or to Oregon's, 43-yard line. Howard looks to throw, and it is incomplete. So now 4th and 25. Now 3rd and 25 with 10 seconds to go. It's going to be pretty far for a kick at this point. So Ohio State they have a timeout. So they just need to get the ball downfield and call a quick timeout to win this football game. Howard, and it seems like a timeout was called. Let's see. Timeout, Oregon. They use their first of the half with 6 seconds to go. 10 seconds. Back up to 10 now. So 3rd and 25. For the Buckeyes. They need a pretty big play here. So here we go. Autzen Stadium on its feet. This is the biggest play of this game thus far. Howard, he's going to look to pass. He looks downfield. Incomplete. 6 seconds to go, but a flag on the play. Let's see who it's on. This could be a game changer here. And it's on Oregon. An illegal substitution, so only 5 yards. Not as bad as it could be. And Ryan Day was saying, there's 12 on the field, and he was right. 6 seconds to go. It's 3rd and 20 at about the 38. Yeah, 38 of Oregon. This is it. Howard looks for a Hail Mary pass. He's going to run it instead. He'll slide. That's it. Oregon has beaten Ohio State. Down goes number 2. What a game. What an incredible game. As the Ducks hand the Buckeyes their first loss of the year. And they're storming the field in Eugene. The biggest win in this stadium in years. Probably the biggest since they beat Oregon State for a spot in the Rose Bowl. And it is a party in Eugene, Oregon, as the Ducks take down Ohio State. Oregon will presumably move to number 2. Texas will stay number 1. Ohio State will probably drop to anywhere between 3, 4, 5. This is Oregon's first ever win against a top 2 team. They, in their history, have been 0-19-1. So to get that first win ever, and for sure the biggest win of Dan Lanning's head coaching career. He won a national championship at Georgia as the defensive coordinator, and now he looks to bring an Natty home for the Oregon faithful. A night to remember in Eugene. Thank you all for watching. Appreciate the support. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit that bell. Ding, ding, ding. Linktree.com/GeorgieStories for all of our social media. Enjoy watching the scenes out of Eugene. Enjoy watching the rest of a great college football night. We still have Ole Miss LSU going on. We have Kansas State, Colorado underway as well. Enjoy the games. Enjoy a Sunday full of football tomorrow from 9:30 in the morning to 11:30 at night. And we will see you next time. Have a great night, everyone.